Good evening and welcome. My name is Olga Chwa, and I'm delighted to welcome you in our Astroyoga class. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to support this channel. Thank you for watching and welcome. We begin with settling and getting comfortable. We begin with just anything this body might need at the moment. Giving that to the body. Does it need a pillow somewhere? Does it need a cushion? Does some part send a signal that it needs to be propped up a different way? You're tuning in. You're coming into an awareness of the signals, of the language of your body, listening in, and getting your finest position on, your 5-star position on. Whatever you need under the knees or as a cover to stay warm. And that's the first part of the practice, is bringing the awareness home to the body for a little visit. Sometimes the body is a wonderful place. Sometimes it's a playground, and sometimes it can be a challenging place. Sometimes it's a difficult place to be. So acknowledging wherever you are, maybe a little of this, a little of that. Just tuning into what it's like to be home in this piece of the world that is your body. And resting upon the earth. Notice that you are held. Wherever you are, gravity is under you, supporting you. And just perfect gravity, that you're not floating off and you're not sucked in. Just gently upon the surface of this planet. Noticing what that feels like to have that pressure on one side, upon the earth, upon the pressure of gravity, and then the other side that's open, the exposed side to the sky, somewhere beyond the ceilings, beyond the roofs, knowing that you are here between the earth and the sky, like the breath that connects the body to the air all around. So we'll keep coming back to the breath throughout the session. Because it's always there, it's always here, the breath is always here, and it's always right now, it's always in present tense. Special feature of the breath here. It brings us to the right now. And you might have an intention for the time together. You might have a reason specific to focus on, and you might repeat that to yourself in your mind, in your heart space, and you might just be here to see what happens. And that's a fine intention as well, to be open to the unknown, to be welcoming of what emerges. So tuning into any sort of intention you might be holding and letting that go. Spending a little moment with it and setting it free. As we begin this yoga nidra practice this evening with the body comfortable and the awareness home with the breath, take a moment to notice all of the sounds that are in the space where you are, including this voice, these instructions here. Among the many sounds, there might be some mechanical sounds, maybe heating sounds or clock sounds. You don't even have to name the sounds, just getting the awareness all around the sounds. Are there sounds beyond your space there, maybe out in the street or out in the world, out the windows and doors, any outdoor sounds? Maybe not. Just getting that orientation of all the sounds. Allowing the eyes to close if they aren't closed yet, and just letting the ears be the ones to explore the space, to be your caretakers, your security guards. The ears are collecting all the sounds, and they will continue to listen in all directions, even as the eyes are closed, and maybe even more precisely when the eyes are closed, the ears can tune in to this variety of sounds, these layers of sounds. And listen closer in, listen to sounds that might be coming from the body, like the heartbeat, any digestion sounds. There might be an occasional swallow. There might be the sounds of little shifts as the body is still maybe finding its comfortable position. There might be sounds of the joints. Listening to these body sounds, internal sounds. And then tuning into the sound of the breath, and it might be quiet and it might have a little whisper there. Listening to that sound. To come in here to the sound of the inner space, the sound within. There might be some chatter, there might be some thoughts that are moving across that space like a little cloud in the sky moving across. And there might be quiet, there might be stillness. Just taking a moment to notice the quality of the inner sounds. And the practice of Yoga Nidra, like all the practices, is your practice. I'm here with suggestions. And this guidance is a method to shift the brain waves and to bring you into a new state of awareness. But you are in control. You do decide. And the first decision is the one of intention. And we touched upon that a moment ago, and returning back again, perhaps, if that intention felt good, maybe repeating it again. If another intention seems to be on the horizon, on the proverbial tongue of the inner landscape. And there may be a general intention, like I feel better with every breath, just a little bit better. Or an intention of feeling rested. And again, sending that. And bring the awareness down to the feet. Take a moment to notice the left foot beginning today with an awareness of where the left heel and the sole and the top of the left foot are, all the way to the toes there. Noticing the left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and fifth. And there's no need to move. The mind goes to this body part and says, checks in, says hello to the left ankle and up the left lower leg to the left knee. Just checking in with any of those questions. If there is an intention, maybe offering some of that wellness or kindness to these joints, to these parts of the body, as the awareness moves up the left thigh and into the left hip and buttock. And continuing up the left side over the waist and into the ribs and armpit on the left, and over down the upper arm to the elbow, to the forearm and wrist, and into the left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring and little finger. Awareness of the left hand. Elbow, left shoulder, down to the left hip, the left knee and ankle, and down to the left toes again. And move the awareness to the right foot. And in the same way, noticing the heel and the sole there, the top of the right foot, into the toes. Big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and fifth. Putting on the awareness a bit like putting on a sock over that right foot and rolling it up to the ankle, up the lower leg to the knee. It becomes a stocking that moves over the thigh, this awareness into the hip and buttock and waist, and up the ribs to the armpit on the right, down the arm to the right elbow, down the forearm to the right wrist, and to the right hand, thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. And be aware of the right hand here, the right hand and wrist, the right elbow, shoulder, down to the right hip and knee, ankle, into the foot. And the awareness is there with the toes and the feet, right and left, heels and ankles, left and right, lower legs and knees, right and left, thighs, hips, buttocks. This awareness of the abdomen and the low back, the upper back, and the front of the chest. Just be aware there. The internal weather, the internal phase of the moon, with an awareness of the throat, the neck, the back of the head, right side of the head, the right ear, to the left side of the head, the left ear. And be aware. Awareness of the chin and the cheeks, and the mouth and the nose, right eye and left eyebrow and right eyebrow to eyebrow center. Pause for a moment between the eyebrows with the awareness here. And expanding into the forehead, hairline, into the crown of the head together. The head and the face together. The neck and shoulders together, right and left arm together. Chest and back, and low back, abdomen, pelvis, and the two legs together. The whole body, the whole body, the whole body. And be aware of the whole body here together, the whole body. Filled with awareness, the awareness home to the body. With this curiosity, this loving inquiry. How do I feel physically? Feeling into the sensations in this home of the life that is you. Moving with each breath, with each inhale, with each exhale. Feel this body resting. Feel this body held on this earth. Supported and comfortable at any moment if it needs to shift. Checking in. Is that shift helpful? Doing the shift as needed. And maybe finding a stillness and a rest. To watch the breath, to be like a companion to the breath, a witness, a fan in the bleachers, watching the coming and going of the inhale and exhale, maybe like watching the tides and the waves that arrive and depart. A pattern a bit like the pattern of the moon. When the breath begins, it's like a new moon coming slowly fuller, growing. The inhale becomes the fullness of the full moon. And it knows its stopping point. It knows its fullness naturally. No thought process needed. You can watch this. You can trust it and let it happen. And hits that peak like the full moon and wanes. And turns into a release, into a smaller quantity, a lesser pressure. And the exhale all the way down to this emptiness, to the moment of no breath, which switches again and becomes an inhale. So watch your breath, be there with this pattern at your speed, whatever your speed is. And like the moon in the sky, know that there's a residual volume. There's air in the body always, like the moon has its backside there, whether the light is full or small. There's a part of the moon we don't see. There's a part of the breath that is always in the body. And there's a part of the breath that moves like the light across the moon as it reaches its fullness, wherever that is today, and it reaches its emptiness, wherever that is today. And you can trust this. You can trust this pattern the way you can trust the workings of the moon. And with this practice today, planting our seed of how do I wish to feel into the mind's core somewhere. How do I wish to feel? Posing the question to the body, to the breath. What resource could the breath bring as it arrives into the fullness of the moon? What full resource do I invite? Full of love, full of strength and patience, and full of clarity. Whatever words might be feeling right, try them on and invite them in. And if they're meh, let them go and see what other words there might be in your inner world, in your heart space, in your solar plexus, in your deeper knowing. What resources can the breath provide? What resources do you welcome with each inhale? More confidence. What can this moon bring? This December full moon known as the cold moon. What might it bring in? Bringing that in with the inhale and bringing it into the whole body, inviting the body to be filled with the resource that you are welcoming. And this is where you might stay. You might stay breathing in these resources, breathing in love, breathing in surrender, breathing in serenity. That might be where you stay, and that's a welcome place to be. And you might listen to the instructions and continue in the mind's eye, and you might continue with physical movement. But for the moment, the breath is here and now, and you're in awareness of the body and the breath and the sounds, listening again to the space, to the world. This voice, these instructions, among them, all the different sounds, taking a moment to remember that you're in the practice of Yoga Nidra. And perhaps staying there, perhaps remaining in the softness, adjusting the body for its comfort, always meeting that body's comfort. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and leave a comment about your experience. And while you're here, please subscribe to my channel and opt in for notifications to catch the next class I upload. And then head over to olgachwa.com to join in a live event or to work one-on-one with me. I'm here to help.